Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Russell Schaefer. So today I'm going to go through a case, helping our friend Alan Mead. He asked about doing some injection molding for a patient of his, and I wanted to show him how to do it on Blue Sky Plan. I know I own ExoCAD, I teach for Blue Sky Plan, but I thought this would be kind of a cool case to show everybody. Yeah. So first things first, Blue Sky Plan has recently gone through a couple updates. We've gone from Blue Sky Plan 4 to Blue Sky Plan 5. Blue Sky Plan 5 has recently gotten pretty darn good. Make sure that you have the updated version. Anything below 17 I found to be a little bit iffy, personally. 25 and above is been pretty good, just to tell you that. Anyway, let's overbalance the case here. So we're on the Crown Bridge. I was like to start with the bridge module. The bridge module gives me the most options in the long run for these sort of things. And we'll just call this patient Alan Mead here, for privacy's sake. And we're going to do top and bottom here for this patient. On this in-person patient data here. So, Alan Mead's case. Good. Close off my thing here so that makes noise. Good, good, good. Alan, I believe, scanned this on his Medit i700, I believe. All right, so we get to the screen right here. We're at the maker models are lined up here. The mandible looks like it has the most teeth on it, so we'll let the software kind of figure out how to align it. Click on that mandible model. Mandible. Click dentate. Good. Use my mouse right now to make sure everything looks pretty good to us right here. Perfect. Finish. Great. Yeah, I can see this guy now. Alan was told me right now number 3 is going to be taken out. And, we're going to actually do a little wax up everything here. I will make them partial as well. I'll make them partial and probably in ExoCAD just because ExoCAD does a little better job than Blue Sky Plan does. Blue Sky Plan isn't actually meant for partials, even though you can do it if you know how to do it. I'm going to do the wax up in Blue Sky Plan to show everybody how to do it. I actually find Blue Sky Plan to be a lot easier to do. So, let us clean these models up a little bit first here. First things first, I want to open the bite up by, let's say, about 1 millimeter or so here. See right here, you have a little bit of wear and tear on these teeth, and things are just a little bit, we've lost some teeth. So we need to open these up just a hair bit here to give us a little bit of room. So, go to panels. Let's go to buccal bite registration here. And we want to do a mandibular articulation and place the jaw on the articulator on the mandible. And we click on the 24 and 25. And there we go. We've just articulated the whole models right there. Just kind of some averages. I kind of like to go right here. Does it look where the jaw would be at? Give or take. If we're opening by 1 millimeter, it's not going to matter too much here. This just gives me some places to play with, honestly, I find. If you want to, you can always, rotate things around a little bit here. So let's go like this a little bit more here to kind of get it to go like that. That looks a little bit more like how I like to rotate the mandible. I'm really kind of doing right here, just kind of playing with everything. Because obviously Blue Sky Plan doesn't really quite know how the jaw is. Just kind of using one point here to kind of open things up. But I can kind of imagine the TMJ kind of sitting like this. Now, if you were really slick, you could actually import a DICOM file in here and, match up the TMJ joints. That'd be pretty easy to do, honestly. Literally put an articulator on here. That'd be very easy to do. But we don't have a DICOM file with us, so we're just gonna, estimate a little bit. We're only opening up by 1 millimeter or so. So, great. Let's open up by a little bit here, right 1 millimeter. And that gives me just enough room to do a little bit more work here. So I've got just a little bit more wiggle room to play with everything. Great. Good, good, good. Next, let's cleanse the mouse a little bit here. So, surfaces. I'm going to get rid of all the colors here, actually. I find colors to be kind of annoying to work with. Let's hide the bottom one here, and let's hide the bite. Spread out a little piece right there. Model edit. Selection brush. Now you can't see these panels right here. On the right side, they're all on the panel thing right here. Good. I'm going to roll that. Now let's go to the top model here. Let's hide the bottom model real quick. Let's see here. Good. And just for funsies right now, we'll actually get rid of this tooth right here to get it out of my, just get it out of my way. So I'm just going to select around the tooth right there. So all I'm going to do is kind of just hold down the shift key, selecting around at the base of that tooth right there, because Alan said this tooth will be removed. And just cutting it out. I just double clicked on it right there. Select the hole manually. I'm going to close this hole right here. Perfect. And let's smooth this little area out right here as well. Good, good, good. Great. Let's take a look here at everything. Wonderful. And now that I've got everything kind of worked up here, let's take a look here. That looks good. Let's see here. Did I lose my jaw? I did. Okay. Sometimes you lose it. Says it one more time here. Sometimes when you edit models, it'll lose the jaw for you. Not a big deal. So you usually want to do the jaw edits before you do everything else. Good. I'm kind of wanting to follow like almost all the contours of the upper jaw right there. So better. Good. All right. Perfect. Now what we want to do here is I'm actually going to want to copy the bottom model here. Okay. And the reason is this way we'll call this mandibular. And the reason I want to copy the bottom model is because it's going to want to keep on moving this bottom model around all the time by doing any adjustments to it. That way I've got one model that's always kind of stuck in that position right there. And all you do is just right click on the model, duplicate, and that's easy. So, perfect. Let us put some teeth on here now. Continue to bridge design. Let's put some color on here so we can differentiate teeth. Do the model, let's make it a blue. Upper model, click on color, let's make it a red. Perfect. A little too high contrast for me. Make it orange. Hit the bottom one. Lighter blue. Looks better. Good. All right. So, I find what makes this easiest, we put a little chain of teeth on here. I like the Mitchhurst Ponic library. Select all match their teeth. Hold down Shift. And it's going to push a whole chain of teeth on there right now. And then from here, we kind of just line up 8 and 9 together. You know, get your essentials lined up here. That's all you really care about. Now, somebody's going to say these teeth are too big for this guy. I kind of disagree with you almost. Look at this. Look how everything's kind of lining up really nicely right here. Especially that premolar right there. That's almost ideal. And that molar is in the right spot. So these teeth are not too big for this guy right now. And these teeth are about perfect for him. They're a little big, but I don't know. I think bigger teeth look better, honestly. I think small teeth are easier to place on an arch. Big teeth are harder to place, in my opinion at least, having done dentures for a long time. So, when you get everything kind of lined up like you want it to, perfect. And now, Control Z. Let us start moving everything around here. So, I'll get 8 and 9 squared away first there. That looks pretty good for 8 and 9 to me. Wonderful. All right, cool. Let us start playing with stuff now. Great. Tooth edit panel. I find it easier if we lock everything right now. And the reason I want to lock everything is that way you can't move, you can only move one tooth at a time. You right click on the tooth, edit it. And let's hide the other teeth here. Oh, a second here, let's hide just the teeth. Except for that central right there. Perfect. We'll hide that. Good. So let's make this tooth look pretty now. Good, good, good. So we'll make this a little bit wider here. And I make it a little wider, that way when Alan does injection molding here, you got a lot more room to play with. So I think it's going to be a little easier for him just to, you know, cut back the cavities and then work back from there. Good. That looks pretty right there to me. And if we hit toggle transparency, so we can see, we have not really, you know, we've added a lot to the, you know, distal of that tooth, but that tooth's already cracked off in the distal right there pretty good. We really haven't, you know, increased the vertical, the facial and the incisal that much, in my opinion, honestly. You know, let's bring ours to hair a bit to give him a little more width right there. Good. Let's lock that. Great. So, the right central right there. I like the way it looks. All right. Oh, let's go toggle lock here. Let's make it a little bit thicker here. Always kind of thicken them up a little bit, especially if you're doing a in a case like this right here. It's just easier to cut back, especially with these you know, he wants to do a injection molding. It's just gonna be easier overall. That way you give yourself a lot more room to play with. That's what I find. You know, good. Now let's see here to lock that one. Let us do the laterals now. Right maxillary lateral, great. Lock, unlock it. And let's see, actually, let me lock, let me put there the central with a little bit better there, just so I can see things a little more. Let's see, let's put these things just a little more in place. That way, if 8 and 9 are in good spots for everything, we'll have a better idea of what we want to do here. That looks about the same to me. Good. I'll lock that. Unlock that one right there. Thicken up the facial a little bit here. Thicken up the lingual. And boom, we got a tooth. Toggle transparency. Let's thicken up a little bit more here. There we go, good. Toggle locked. Toggle transparency. Good. You know, so that way if Alan cuts this thing back pretty good, puts a PBS stent over it, it'll look pretty nice. Good. Toggle transparency. Let's do the K9. Oops. I got no idea what close this means. I've never figured that out. Maybe Michael Saltzman can tell me one day if I ask him. You know, the guys at Blue Sky Plan are phenomenal. I love the team over there. It's a very dedicated group of programmers, honestly. I love them. So, let's see here. Let's make this a little bit thicker here. Great. So using a typical denture set, you want this tooth to be a little bit more almost, vertical. I don't know what their word for that is, but you don't want the, you're kind of almost pointing in just a little bit there, not so flared. Oh, that's my dog burping. But you also kind of want to be just kind of pointing more, distal as well. Sticking up a little bit more here. Good. Now, the one nice thing too with this program is I can actually send this all to Alan, and he can modify himself pretty easily if you wanted to. Well, this is bothering me right now. Bring it down slightly here. Blue Sky Plan will not charge me to export any of this stuff, which makes it so nice for anybody who wants to get into 3D printing or, digital design. You don't quite know. So, I will admit, XCAD is stronger. It's better than Blue Sky Plan, but it's also a heck of a lot more expensive. This is free. Or it costs me, you have to have an export in your account. But it's nice to have access to this stuff here. Good. And we've just done a wax up right here. Let's see here. And I'll just add stuff here. So what we're going to do here is we're just to add to this one right here. Find the tooth. So I'm going to just kind of add to and kind of give Alan some more room to work with here. Rather than trying to making, all I'm doing is giving him a little more thickness here to play with. That way he doesn't have to worry about if he does want to cut back a little bit, Good. Perfect. Now let's do the premolar here. Just in case he wants to do that one too. I don't know if he will or not. Let's go to premolar now. See, that's the left maxillary premolar here. All right, let's see here now. Let's see what that looks like on against the bottom here. I just want to even notice here, and I haven't looked at the lower model at all. Remember, that's so few teeth here. Who cares about the bike? Honestly, go figure it out. I mean, the patient's already got a weird bite anyway right now. Let's make it. What's really going to change it to make it a little more weird, right? So good. This here gives Alan a lot of room to work with here. I'll cover this whole palatal cusp that he wants to. Now he wants to rebuild the whole tooth out of composite with injection molding. Obviously, he might or might not. I don't quite know. Because he's going to have to build back up. And guess what? In under 20 minutes, we've just literally waxed up 4 teeth. Number 8 is in a tooth. I put there just for my own reference points. Yeah, we just waxed up 4 teeth in under 20 minutes. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this little example. And what you would do now is I would hide this tooth here. So you don't want to export this tooth. But you can file, export data. Oops, one more thing here. We're going to want to go to model master. Because to make Alan's life easy here, I will end up making this a hollow model. And then what you can do is you're going to create this all in one big model here. So you go File, Export Data, Create Surface. Now we have one model here that you can pretty easily print out. in any software that you have. You know, I'll show you doing Accurata. That's what I uploaded on this machine right here. So, let me see Alan Mead's file. Hold on a second here. Let's see, desktop. So, then we have Alpha AI. Obviously, choose your one of choice. Desktop. Alan Mead's case. We use the large plate here. Say print out of some sort of, let's see here. We're at model resin, fast. Ooh, we got turbo. See how I go Accurata. Some support on it. Looks pretty good. Slice it. Slice. This will take you about 50 minutes print out right there. Like that. Make a little PBS tray of that right there. And you would have a nice, or whatever you want to do, I guess if you want to do injection molding with something that's not a dual cure or self-cure, you can just do a Essex tray-esque sort of thing. And there you go. That right there is how you do a wax up in Blue Sky Plan. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and have a great day. Bye.